Hi guys, welcome to another session of Tech Hives. In this video, we are going to discuss Lambda expression. Lambda expression is the most important feature which is introduced in Java 8, and the main use of Lambda expression is to provide the implementation of functional interface, and it provides the less coding. The syntax for lambda expression is it will contain a parameter list or argument list, then it is followed by an arrow token, then again it is followed by a body. The parameter list or argument list, it can be empty or non-empty, and the arrow token which will act as a link between the parameter list and the body, and the body contains the coding part of the lambda expression, which contains expressions and statements. Now we know that the main use of lambda expression is for the implementation of functional interface. So we'll get a question that what is functional interface? Functional interface is nothing but it will contain only one abstract method. And what is then abstract method? The abstract method is a method which does not have any body or implementation. So we'll provide implementation using the subclass. And now we'll check some of the examples for functional interface. Some of the built-in functional interfaces provided by Java 8 are predicate, function, supplier, consumer, runnable, etc. The first one is predicate. Predicate is a statement that may be true or false, and the abstract method in predicate is test. Function accepts one argument and produces a result. The abstract method in function is apply. Supplier takes no arguments but returns some value. The abstract method used is get. Consumer accepts single input argument and return no result. The abstract method used here is accept. Runnable is used to execute code on a concurrent thread, and the abstract method used for implementing the runnable function interface is run method. Java 8 onwards, an interface can have static methods, default methods, as well as the abstract methods. But for functional interface, it contains only one abstract method, and it can have n number of default methods as well as the static methods. We can use at functional interface annotation for denoting in an interface as a function interface. This at functional interface annotation is used to ensure that the functional interface cannot have more than one abstract method. In case of more than one abstract methods, then the compiler will flag an unexpected at function interface annotation message. And also this annotation is not mandatory for the functional interfaces. Now we'll see some examples for lambda expressions. Let us go to IntelliJ. Now I'll create a new class in this package and I'm gonna name it as lambda expression. Public static void main. Next I'll create an interface. Let us name it as functional interface. Okay, and inside this interface I'm going to create one method called public void speak. Okay, now I want to define the speak method. This can be done either by using anonymous class or by implementing functional interface. We had only these two approaches before Java 8, but when lambda expression has been introduced in Java 8, we can define speak method in one single line, which is more easier than the two other approaches. Let us go through each of these ways. First, we'll check how we can implement the function interface. So, implements function interface, and now we have to override all the unimplemented methods of function interface. Now we have only one method in function interface, that is speak. So just overriding it, we'll move this to starting of this class. Okay, and directly I can define the method here. Sysout I am speaking. Okay, and now I have to call the speak method using the function interface object. Function interface fi equal to new lambda expression of fi dot speak. Let us run this program. So I am speaking is the output. Now we'll check how to do this using anonymous inner class. Deleting this one. Okay. We'll create the object of function interface. Function interface fi equal to new function interface of. Now inside this we got this method for overriding. At the end we have to put one semicolon, and inside I'm going to give the definition for speak method. I am speaking. After the anonymous class definition, we have to call the speak method using the object fi dot speak. Now let us run the code. So we got I am speaking. Next we'll check how this can be modified for lambda expression. And Java 8 onwards we know that function interface can contain the abstract method, static method as well as default methods. So now my function interface contain only one abstract method, that's why this interface is a functional interface. We can define or annotate it with at functional interface annotation, and it is optional, that's why I'm not doing here. Let us define another two methods here, which is for default and static. So public default void, this is default method, so I'll name it as default method, and we have to give definition here as out I am default. Next is for static method, public static void static method I am static. Okay. So this is our anonymous inner class, and it starts from here and ends here. This anonymous class can be modified for getting lambda expression. Now we know that functional interface contain only one abstract method. Here we are providing the implementation of the abstract method speak. So there is no need of keeping this prototype speak here. Remove it, and this one also. Now we have to remove the object initialization, that is from new functional interface. Up to here we have to remove and keep this open and closed parenthesis. Now give the arrow token to link the argument list and the body of the lambda expression, that is I am speaking. Here we have only one statement, so we can remove this curly braces and we can make this a single line. Let us run the code again. Now we got the output as I am speaking. We don't have any parameter for speak method, so that's why we have used empty open and close parenthesis here, then arrow token, then the definition like body of the lambda expression. That is, the first is the argument list which is empty here. Next is the arrow token for representing the lambda expression. Arrow token is used for linking the argument list and the body of the lambda expression. The last comes the body of the lambda expression. Now we have seen that how we can minimize the coding for functional interface using lambda expression. Next, we'll look into some of the built-in functional interfaces introduced in Java 8. Let's begin with predicate functional interface. Predicate is a generic functional interface representing a single argument function that returns a boolean value which can be true or false. It is located in the java.util.function package. It contains a test method that evaluates the predicate on the given argument. The predicate is nothing but a condition. So let us understand the predicate through an example. In the predicate example, I am going to define a condition or predicate whether my past value is greater than the other value or not. So let us start with coding. First I'll do in the normal way of coding, like using the implements keyword. After that we can convert it to lambda expression. So I'll start with the class greater than 10 is the class name. I'm just giving a generic E here. So you can define E, either E or T, which will accept all type of objects. Implements predicate functional interface, and thus I'm giving integer object. So why this error is because we have an unimplemented method in this, that is test method. So we have to override the unimplemented methods. Here we can see many methods in the predicate functional interface. So it is test, and, negate, and or. So the test is the only abstract method available in the predicate functional interface, and, negate, and or. These three methods are the default methods which is available in the predicate functional interface. So let us override the test method. We'll rename this integer value as value. So just checking against this value for this condition. I'm checking whether this value is greater than some number. So I'm going to return whether this past value is greater than 10. That's what our class name is, greater than 10. You can either initialize this 10 into a variable, and you can use the variable instead of this constant value. That's not a problem, that's your wish. So now we have defined the class. Next we have to use this predicate inside our main class. So we'll delete these things. Now I am going to define some list of numbers, integer values. Let us name it as num list equal to, just converting this to list. For that I'll do list dot of. I'll give some numbers here, 1, 5, then 30, 56, 11, 20, and 4. Okay, so just import this. That's what the error was. Next is we have to use the predicate. Create the object of the class greater than 10. Of the type integer. because I am going to use number list of integer here, equal to, just give a object name as, give an object name as greater than 10 equal to new class name of. Now using that num list, I am going to check my condition. Num list dot stream dot filter of. Inside the filter, I am going to give the predicate, that is condition, which is the object. Pass the object greater than 10 dot. Now I am going to print all the values which satisfies my predicate. So for each of system dot out double colon operator println. Save this, run. So we got the values 30, 56, 11, 20. All these are greater than 10. That's what we want. So what this code does is, it will iterate through each values of the list and check whether the predicate is satisfying or not. That is, first value in the list is 1. So it will check whether the 1 is greater than 10. That is a predicate. So I should check each and every value in my list is greater than 10 or not. So first we will compare with 1, which is lesser than 10, so it will ignore it. Second will take 5, which is again lesser, and 30 is greater than 10, so that matches the predicate. So we got it printed 30. Again 56 also matches the condition, 11 and 20. So 4 again it's not matching the condition, that's why it ignored 4. So thus we got the output as 30, 56, 11 and 20. Now we'll convert this to lambda expression. For that we don't need this class. Delete this one. Okay. So we know this is the only abstract method which is found in predicate function interface. So we are going to write code for this method, and we know that this has only one argument. So we'll delete up to this. Keep this value here. We want this value because it has only one argument, and this is our body. So in between the body we have to give the lambda expression symbol, which is arrow. It is used for linking the argument list part as well as the body part. Next we have the return value greater than 10. Just we are checking, returning whether the value is greater than 10 or not. So we don't want this return statement as well. We'll give simply value greater than 10. And since this is only one statement, we can remove the curly braces. Also, this is only one argument, so we can remove this bracket. And finally, this is our lambda expression that we have to give here. So we have already one object greater than 10. We'll give predicate integer type and just copy this and paste here. This is the object or variable name we are going to use. Greater than 10 equal to give our lambda expression. So friends, just compare this code with the previous example. So in the previous example we have implemented the predicate function interface and we have defined our predicate inside the test method, and also we have created one object in the main class, and using that object we have printed the numbers which satisfies the condition. So instead of that, we have done all these things in a single line of code, which is the use of lambda expression. So here value, lambda expression, value greater than 10. This checking whether the given value, that is we are passing a stream of value, and it will check each value every time and compares with the past value. If the given value is greater than 10, then only it will display the result. So we'll run the code again. Okay, so this is the same output we got. So I'll change one value here, so that will feel the difference. And again, just run the code. So here it is. And that's all about the predicate function interface. Now we'll move to the next interface, which is function interface. As we discussed earlier, the function interface accepts one argument as input and produces a result. And the function interface is from the package java.util.function. It contains only one abstract method, that is apply, and has two default methods. They are and then and compose, and one static method, that is identity. Let us understand more about function interface with the following example. So just remove all this. We don't need this now. In the example, I am going to create a function which finds the square of a number. So for that, I am creating a class. The first way is the normal way, which we implement the function interface. Then after that, we'll convert this to lambda expression. Class, let us name the class name as square, because we are finding the square of a number, and giving e, then which implements functional interface, function of, it has two arguments. So first we'll give integer, we are passing an integer, and our result is also an integer. Now we have to override the unimplemented methods. So we have to implement the method apply, which is the only abstract method in the functional interface. So override this. Here I am going to return the square of a number. So let us change this variable name as n, and I am going to return n into n. Commenting all the above codes. In the main class, we'll define the function. For that, create the object of the class square. The square, give integer num square equal to new square of, and now num square dot apply of 2, and give this in the system.out.println so that we can see the output. Okay. Now run the code. We got the output as 4, which is the square of 2. Now we'll convert this into lambda expression. For this, we don't need this class. Let us remove this. Now we know that these things are not needed. Okay, we need only one argument, that is, let us give it as n, and this is our body, which we are not given return statement here, so just delete it. And for linking the argument list and the body, we have to give lambda expression symbol, which is arrow token. Since we have only one statement, remove the curly braces, and also we have only one argument list, so we can remove the parenthesis. Here we'll create a function object function integer num square equal to, give the lambda expression here. Now using this num square, we have to call the apply method with 4. Okay, so I'm going to find the square of 4 and print the result. So s out, and I'm going to copy this, paste inside, save it, and run the code again. Now we can see the square of 4 is 16. Okay, now let us look into the next built-in functional interface, that is consumer functional interface. Consumer functional interface represents an operation that accepts a single input argument and returns no result. The abstract method present in the consumer functional interface is accept method. Let us understand more about the consumer function interface through the following example. In the previous examples, we have seen how to define the abstract method of functional interface using implements keyword. Now we are going to use anonymous inner class for defining the method. Let us comment this. In this example, I am going to display a string 3 times using the consumer functional interface. So let us code that consumer string display 3 times equal to new consumer of, then you have to give semicolon here because this is the end of anonymous inner class. Inside this accept, we have to give the code that is, here we are going to print a string 3 times. So s out, yes, copy this and paste it 3 times. Okay. Now the down of the anonymous inner class, we have to call the method accept using the object display 3 times. Display 3 times dot accept of, we have to provide the string inside. I'm giving hi. I'm going to print another string also. Display 3 times dot accept of, going to print hello. Okay, now run the code. Yeah, we got hi 3 times and hello also 3 times. Now we'll convert this to lambda expression. For that, just remove this one and again this method also remove. Now this is the body part and we are passing a value s here. So again we have to give S and arrow token for linking the parameter list as well as the body of the lambda expression. So give arrow token here. So our lambda expression is completed now. And now here let us give another string. Hi, how are you? Hello world. Save it and run the code again. So we got the output as expected. Hi, how are you as 3 times and hello world as 3 times. And one more thing, in consumer functional interface, there are two methods. One is accept, that we know it is an abstract method, and the other method is a default method, and the method is and then. In the example of predicate functional interface, we have used for each method for iterating purpose. So the for each method accepts a consumer interface as parameter. So when we use system.out double colon operator println, internally the accept method will take the parameters and print the values. So that's what happening in for each method. We'll check this scenario with another example. So I'm going to take the same num list here. Now num list dot for each of, here you can see the parameter of the for each method is consumer functional interface. For each, inside we'll define the consumer interface. Okay, so this is again an anonymous inner class, and we got the accept method inside. Here I am going to change this variable name to value, and now just printing this value, if value. Okay, now if you run the code, and you can see all these values of num list are printed. See 1, 5, 30, 56, 16, 20 and 4. All these values are printed. So we can simplify this using the lambda expression. Now remove the accept method. Okay, and we have to pass one argument, that is value. So remove this data type. Keep only value. Then remove the override and remove this initialization. And remove this braces. Remove the semicolon. Okay, now make all this into one line. Okay, so we have the argument and we have the method body, but we don't have anything to link. So inside, in between argument list and the method body, we have to give arrow token. Okay, and since we have only one statement here, we can remove the curly braces. Okay, and only one parameter is there, so that we can remove this bracket. Now our lambda expression is ready. So this is value lambda expression system.out.println value. This will print all the values in the num list. And value lambda expression system.out.println of value is the parameter which is the consumer functional interface. That is, the consumer functional interface is the parameter of for each method. So now we'll run the code. Yeah, we got all the numbers in the num list. We will now move to the next built-in function interface, that is suppler functional interface. The suppler interface is a part of java.util.function package, and it represents a function which does not take any argument but it produces a result. The abstract method present in suppler interface is get. It has only one method, that is get. Let us understand suppler interface with an example. So first we'll comment all these things. Using the suppler interface, I'm going to return a string. Suppler string suppler equal to new suppler of, put a semicolon because this is the end of the anonymous inner class. So now we got the method get inside the suppler. So here I'm going to return hello world. Using this suppler object, just call get method. And for seeing the result, put this parameter inside system.out.println, cut this and paste inside, run the code. Now we can see that we got the result as hello world. So it's a time to convert this suppler anonymous inner class to lambda expression. We'll do this. For that, we know we have to delete the initialization, override, this one. Now we'll delete up to this, making one line. Put semicolon at the end. Delete the return. Now this has only one statement, so we don't need the curly braces. Remove that. Link the parameter and the body with arrow token. We got the lambda expression for suppler functional interface. Run the code again, or before that we'll change this to hi world. Run the code. Yeah, we got the hi world as output. Now let us see another example with the suppler functional interface. First I'm going to print the date time using suppler interface. So suppler type as local date time equal to empty parenthesis, arrow token, then local date time dot now. Okay, just displaying this using sout datetime dot get function. Run the code. So we got the current time, it is 23:29, that is 11:29, and 31st of May 2021. Next we'll see the runnable functional interface. The runnable interface should be implemented by any class whose instances are intended to be executed by a thread. This interface is defined in java.lang package and it contains a single abstract method called run. Let us see the details of the runnable interface through an example. Comment all the above codes. Okay. Create the object of runnable using anonymous in the class runnable r1 equal to new runnable of and the anonymous in the class with semicolon. Now this out. The sprint thread 1 is running. Okay. Below the inner class, initialize the object of thread class thread t1 equal to new thread of r1 and t1 dot start. Run the code. Thread 1 is running. The same we can do with lambda expression also. So for that, we know we have to remove the method first. Remove the run method. To run, just remove it. Remove the initialization. Now keep all this in the single line. Since this contain only one statement, remove this curly braces. And to link with the argument list and the body, we have to give the arrow token. Remove the extra space. So this is the lambda expression for runnable functional interface. So let us run the code again. Thread 1 is running. Till now we have seen some of the built-in functional interfaces introduced in Java 8 such as predicate, function, consumer, supplier and runnable. Also I have included the examples for each functional interfaces with implements keyword, anonymous inner class as well as the lambda expression. Also we have seen how we can convert the anonymous inner class as well as the methods defined using the implements keyword to lambda expression. I hope you all understood the concept of lambda expression. We'll meet in the next video soon. See you guys. Bye bye.